So today we're going to be doing my full review on Versace Dylan Blue. I figured as many times as I've talked about this one on the channel, it's worthy of its own dedicated video. After all, this fragrance is still bringing in new people to the community on a daily basis, so if this video can help some of you guys out, help you make a guided purchase on this one, then, well, my job is complete. We're going to be going over how this smells, how it performs when you can wear it, ultimately if I think it's going to be worth picking up. Let's get into it. So Versace Dylan Blue. This is a flanker of Versace Pour Homme. And if that doesn't ring a bell to you, it looks something like this. Versace Pour Homme. This was the very first fragrance of this lineup. And then we had Versace Oud Noir and then Versace Dylan Blue. Now this fragrance, if you're unaware, is Versace's take on the blue ambroxan-based fragrance. And if you're confused and you're like, well, Versace Pour Homme is blue, wouldn't that be a blue fragrance? And no, not really. This is a darker blue bottle, and again, it's focusing on the ambroxan, which is used in a lot of other fragrances. Dior Sauvage, Aqua Atlantique, and so on. It's a very trendy note, and essentially ambroxan comes across as smelling a little bit warm, fuzzy, fresh, sparkling, bright, depending on how it's used. Essentially, it's a big compliment magnet for whatever reason. I don't know what it is about that ingredient that works so well, but it does. You'll find that it is used in Creed Aventus and a lot of other creeds as well, and of course Aventus is also a big time compliment getter. And that fragrance, they're touting it to be actual ambergris, so who knows if that's true or not, but that's what they say. And so ambroxan is a much more affordable synthetic version of real ambergris, essentially. Real ambergris is incredibly expensive, and a $50 fragrance is definitely not going to have that in there. So when you spray Versace Dylan Blue on, it opens up clean, fresh, out of the shower smelling. When this first came out, and even still, people kind of describe this one as smelling like a shower gel fragrance. And I think that's a really good way to put it, because that's really how it smells. Clean, fresh, very masculine, very modern. We'll take a look at that note breakdown here. Up top we have bergamot, grapefruit, water notes, fig leaf. In the mid we have ambroxan, patchouli, black pepper, violet leaf, and papyrus. In the base we have incense, musk, tonka bean, and saffron. So I'll tell you, there's a good amount of notes there, maybe more than you would expect from this, but the ones you need to focus on are as follows. The ambroxan, obviously, bergamot, some of the watery notes, that's essentially it. Now you do get a little bit of the incense in here, but rather than smelling like straight up incense, it just gives off an overall kind of evening smoky appeal. It adds a little bit of a sweetness. And that's the thing about this fragrance, is even though it is a clean, fresh scent, in the dry down, it does sweeten up a little bit, and it gets sweeter than some other blue fragrances out there, like Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, that sort of thing. And so I've always looked at this one as a really nice evening, nighttime alternative to those other blues that we've been mentioning a lot here. Of course, you can wear Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel or Prada Carbon or Aqua Atlantique in the evening if you wanted to, but I think those are more daytime appropriate, at least for me. That's how they come across, because those are very bright, very uplifting. They smell great on a warm summer day. But for me, if I'm wanting to go in that genre of fragrance for an evening, I'm most inclined to go with something like Dylan Blue because it has a bit more depth. Longevity on my skin is about 8 to 9 hours. Sometimes I'll get a bit more. I remember when I first got this one pretty early on in my collecting, I was super impressed with the performance. Initially, the first couple times I wore it, I wasn't too sure that it was performing that well. And it wasn't until I kept wearing it, I kept going back to it, I started to realize, wait, this is actually lasting on my skin way longer than I expected. So that's something I encourage you guys to make sure you're aware of. Fragrances like this can cause olfactory fatigue. For me, it's ambroxan heavy fragrances, so I get that from Sauvage, Atlantique, this one, and so on. And that also happens to a lot of other people as well. So if you get this one in and you start wearing it and you think it only lasts for a couple hours and then it's gone, it's probably not the case. You probably just can't smell it yourself. Keep wearing it, keep testing it, perhaps spray it on the back of your neck, or try to avoid spraying it on the front of your body where it's constantly radiating up to your nose, because that is what will cause your nose to just tune it out pretty quickly. In terms of projection here, it really does leave a nice, moderate, subdued bubble around me. Nothing that's going to be too loud to the point that it's offensive. So really for me, this is about perfect what I look for in projection, at least from kind of a signature scent. You don't want something that's going to fill up a room and be too loud, but you also don't want a skin scent. I think it strikes a nice balance. And it's also worth noting that this is an eau de toilette. You may not think so. I mean, the bottle has a nice, deep, dark blue. It's got the gold accenting. I would expect it to be an eau de parfum, but no, it is an EDT, and it performs very good, even though it is a lower concentration. One of the main reasons people are going to look into this one is the compliment factor. And yeah, it lives up to the hype. It's a great compliment getter. My girlfriend, she loves it. I can wear this one for days and days in a row, and she won't get tired of it. That's just kind of how this DNA works, and that's why it's already so popular, and that's why people are still continuing to gravitate towards it. Now, one of my favorite things about this one is the price point, okay? This comes in at discounters from around $45 to $50, depending on the bottle size. This here's a 200 ml. It's a lot of fragrance, depending on if you're going to make it your signature scent or if you're just going to wear it occasionally, will depend upon what bottle size you would want to look into. My recommendation, if you are going to wear it on a daily basis, I would say just go ahead and spend the money up front and get the 200 ml. A lot of people don't realize this, especially if you're new to the community, but the bigger bottle you get in most situations, 99% of the time, unless the pricing is screwed up on discounters, it's actually cheaper that way. So say, for example, you bought a 100 ml bottle that's $50. You use it all up and then you buy another 100 ml for $50. That's $100. You can sometimes get the 200 mils for $60, $70, somewhere around in there. Maybe not even that much. I can't remember what these go for, this size bottle, but you can see the obvious difference there. The price per milliliter is a much better deal the bigger bottle you get. That's why I try to avoid buying 50 mils and even 30 mils if I can, because you're getting a crappy deal. And of course, that's given if you're actually going to wear enough of the fragrance to where you would put a dent in it and need to buy another one. So yeah, signature scent, I would say just spend the money up front and get a big bottle. You're not going to regret it. One that you wear every now and then on a date or in an evening or whatever, 100 mils fine. But regardless of that, the price point is incredibly competitive. And I've said this before, but Versace is kind of one of the main brands that dominates that mid-range designer price of around $50. Versace, Dolce & Gabbana are two of the big ones. And the fact that you can get this one for about $50 makes it one of the most affordable blue fragrances. Sauvage and all of its concentrations and Bleu de Chanel are double that, or a little bit more than double. Now, Aqua Atlantique is one that may be a little bit more affordable than this. They are different, but that's another affordable blue option as well that also has great performance. But again, I like this because it's a great entry-level scent. You know, if you got 50 bucks laying around, you can have a bottle of Dylan Blue. And the best part about it is you'll get your money's worth out of it. Say you buy something like a niche fragrance or something that's very sweet that you can't wear every day, and you spend, $50, $60, $100 on it or even more, and you're not able to wear it all that much, it may not feel like the best investment for you versus spending $50 on something that you can wear every day if you wanted it to. I think that's very valuable. All in all, I think Dylan Blue is amazing. I featured it in many videos for a reason. It just checks off all of the boxes for me. Great performance, great smell, great mass appeal, great quality, and great price. It has those 5 things, which to me are very important. It is just a great scent that I think just about every guy should have. Great dumb reach, it's a great signature scent, it's a great evening scent. Whatever you want to use it for, you can use it for. That's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Dylan Blue down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you own a bottle? Do you not own a bottle? And I will provide links to this one down below to discounters. I'll put a few different ones down there so that way you can click on each and do some price comparisons. I would tell you which one it's cheapest at, but that always changes. I could say today that, oh, it's cheapest at FragranceNet currently, but if you're watching this video in a few months, a few weeks, a few years from now, that could be vastly different. So I'll put all the discounters down below, links to this one. You can click those and shop through and find the best deal for yourself at that time. And if you want to support the channel and get some vlogs, if you want to watch these videos in advance, and if you want to chat with me in a private group chat along with some of the other members, hit the join button down below. I greatly appreciate your support. It really helps the channel out and means a ton. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.